You are never meant to chase wealth from struggle, scarcity, or sacrifice. You are meant to unleash wealth from your divine feminine bliss, ease, and radiance, and be a rich, wealthy, abundant goddess queen, a woman who gets to live a life where you're not only financially free, but you create the freedom to be, do, and have everything that you desire on your terms. So if you are desiring not just more wealth, but wealth from your feminine, that's exactly what I want to teach you today. I myself have healed generational patterns of scarcity and sacrifice and suffering, especially in my feminine lineage, and just personally being earlier in my life in hypermasculine mode and operating from fear and lack, completely healed and shifted that to create multi-millions from divine feminine bliss and flow and really live a rich goddess life. And I've been blessed to help thousands of women since 2012 as a divine feminine mentor and guide to also clear scarcity patterns and cycles and break free and to become rich, wealthy, happy, healthy, sexy goddess queens to create all the abundance that they've desired, that you desire. So let's get started. If you don't know me, welcome. My name is Saima Kral, and I am a divine feminine mentor. You can find me at flourishinggoddess.com. If you come on over, I want to unleash that abundance and flow through you right away. So sign up for my free meditation when you join my email list, and we're going to start activating abundance, love, beauty, health, wealth, happiness, all the good things with the goddesses right away. You can find me at flourishinggoddess.com. The first divine feminine secret is that money is not the source. You are the source. Not only is money not the source, but anything that you think is the source. Your job, your income, your clients, your business, your multiple streams, whatever you've got going on where you make money, you get money, that is not the source. The first divine feminine truth is that you are the source, right? Divine feminine wealth is, if we're speaking of being a rich goddess, is that you are a goddess. There are goddesses of wealth. So there's Lakshmi and Abundantia and Vasudhara and goddesses from all times and cultures to remind us women to be those mirrors, those reflections for us that we are abundance, that you are abundant. So there's no amount of mindset work or affirmations or even manifestation work that's going to help us as women to tap into abundance the way that we're meant to until we return home to this truth. That the source of abundance is within you and you are one with, this source is your divinity, right? The source is that you are the ocean of abundance. You are one. It's your divine nature, your divine truth. You are a daughter of the divine, right? However you connect with the divine, God, goddess, love, universe. You are one with that source. So abundance is a goddess. Abundance is just one aspect of the divine. And you come from that. You are always, always, always connected to that source. Money is just a reflection. And all the different channels, right? They're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a certain amount of limitless channels through which the divine can bring abundance to you. And what happens is we think in our human mode that, I make my money in this way, or even that money is the source of my abundance. But one of the most powerful shifts we can ever make is no longer giving our power away to money, right, as the source, but actually coming home to the divine truth that I am abundance, I am prosperity, I am one with the source. And that not only am I one of the source, but I am divine feminine abundance, limitless, infinite, ever expanding. You are one with all the abundance of the entire universe, of the seen and the unseen, of the unmanifest and the manifest, of the cosmos, of the heavens, of the earth. It is all sacred, it is all beautiful, it is all natural, and it is all one with you, right? It's inside you, it's outside you, it's all around you. It is infinite and it is yours. So there's actually no separation from you and the infinite abundance that you divinely, innately, and naturally are. So if we look to the goddesses that teach us this, like goddess Lakshmi, she does not chase abundance. She does not earn. She does not prove. She does not try to make herself worthy. Aphrodite, like there's all these beautiful goddesses that are goddesses of abundance. They also happen to be goddesses of love, right? Because love, wealth, this is all just who you are. And it's the pathway and the portal to unleashing that abundance. So you don't chase abundance. You remember that I am abundance. As you reclaim this truth and remembrance, then wealth naturally flows from the source inside of you instead of from anything that you do or earn. You're not like rewarded, right? You just are, and the wealth flows from you from the inside. When I remembered this, it shifted everything for me because I realized I don't have to depend on outside things. I don't have to put this pressure on myself. And it's actually so empowering when you realize that money and no person, place, or circumstance outside of me is my source. The divine, God, Goddess, is my source, and I am part of that source. I am the expression of that source. I am the channel of that source. And that not only that, but the divine, the goddess, abundance, wants to experience itself through you. So let's drop that into your being, the beautiful affirmation. Place one hand on your heart and your womb and affirm, I am not here to chase wealth. I am here to be its source, embodiment, and channel. The next divine feminine way to manifest wealth and be a wealthy and rich goddess is to know that while your desire for wealth is sacred, right? It is the desire of the divine, of the goddess herself to unleash and experience that abundance through you. You must clear the way. You must clear the channel. So you are the source. And the next step is, okay, well, if I'm the source, where's my abundance at, right? Why am I struggling here? Why do I have lack here? Why do I have limitation there? Why do I keep coming across this pattern, this frustration, this obstacle? Why does it feel so hard? It's okay. Wherever you are in your relationship to money, to wealth right now, it is showing you your relationship to the source within you and also what is getting in the way. Where is the resistance? Where are the usually unconscious blocks that oftentimes stem from earlier in our life, from childhood? In my work, we do karmic healing work. We do a lot of past life, energetic clearing on every possible level. Because most of these feminine woundings around money and wealth and abundance have deeper roots around receiving, and deeper than that around feeling safe, feeling worthy to receive. So in my work with women, and obviously my own healing work first, and then in all my client work, when we get deeper and deeper to the root cause, there's always some core things. Like for example, let me give you this scenario. Let's say you want $10 million and then you get it today, right? Can you really receive it? You might think you can, but the blocks come around receiving, holding, and growing and expanding wealth. What I've had to go for myself, what I've helped my clients through, are these deep wounds that end up becoming like energetic blocks and barriers or limitations, right? Where we can only feel safe in having so much, even though consciously we might be visualizing, manifesting, working hard, whatever we're doing spiritually or practically to be more wealthy. If you find that you've reached a certain threshold and you can't get past it, there is usually unconscious, energetic, oftentimes in my work, again, we see karmic level roots where it just doesn't feel safe, or there's wounding around worthiness or other areas where we're not letting that next level of wealth in, or we're not letting it in from ease in a way that creates more freedom and more space and more joy in our life. Some other wounds around here can be shame, that it's selfish, or guilt that it's not spiritual to want money, or it's selfish to want money. And I know, when we look to our world and the wealthiest people, it's just filled with so much corruption, right? And that's the epitome of the toxic masculine. Feminine wealth is the opposite, right? Feminine wealth is inside out. It's generosity, it's abundance, and it's for the highest good of all. So there's so much that we need to clear around, the toxic masculine wealth, the way that it's been, and actually rise into beautiful, nurturing, supportive, abundant, overflowing feminine wealth as goddesses, because Lakshmi is a goddess who blesses all, right? Isis, Abundantia, Mother Earth, Vasudhara. These are goddesses that are generous, that are radiant, and wealth is not only never in a way that harms anyone else, but wealth only blesses, and the blessings ripple out to the highest good of all. So anyways, there are so many wounds around guilt, shame, unworthiness, safety that can come up. So the invitation I have for you is to know that wherever you find yourself stuck, whether it's in activating more wealth, receiving more wealth, or that you can make money, but you have trouble holding it, or you make a lot of money, but it goes as fast, or you make a lot of money, but it comes with a lot of sacrifice and struggle, and it doesn't actually it doesn't come in a way that's peaceful. There's so many women who are highly successful and rich and wealthy, but then they're burnt out or unfulfilled. And it comes from this like high cost, compromise, and sacrifice. So to clear the channel for wealth is to clear the inner wounds we're operating from that are usually unconscious, that create those patterns in our life where we are still stuck in survival mode. Even we can actually be like monetarily wealthy, but spiritually broke, and emotionally really lacking. So the divine feminine way, beloved, is that you come back to divine feminine truth as the goddess of love, of self-love, of bliss, of beauty, of inner radiance, of inner joy, and let your pathway to wealth be as natural as it's meant to be, right? So we're uncovering the roots. This is part of the work that I do in Millionaire's Empress, which is one of my programs for manifesting wealth beyond measure from your divine feminine. And we clear the inner blocks. We let abundance flow the way that it's naturally meant to, infinitely, ever increasingly, expansively, and for the highest good of all. Let's do a quick affirmation to start getting the energy cleared, to clear your abundance blocks and let wealth flow. Placing your hands on your heart and womb and allowing yourself to desire wealth now, affirming, I gave myself permission to desire wealth because I am its source. I am daughter of the divine. I'm infinitely worthy. Wealth wants me. Abundance wants to experience herself through me. Abundance is a goddess. I am the goddess of abundance, and it is my sacred right, my birthright. Not just to have abundance, but to be abundance. I allow myself to unleash it. I now offer myself to be cleared and free of all resistance, of all blocks, inside out, whether I'm aware of them or not. I'm ready for them to be healed and cleared and transmuted. I'm ready to be free and liberated from all beliefs, energetic blocks that keep me stuck in any form of scarcity, struggle, or sacrifice. And now allow myself to become a clear channel, free of any resistance, letting abundance flow through me, to me, and all around me with the goddess that I am. I hope that felt beautiful. And if you would actually love to experience my deeper goddess activation, I have a beautiful Millionaire's Goddess activation where I activate the wealthy rich goddess codes, and then we do the clearing for you with the goddesses for you to just have that energetic release, to realign, and to embody yourself as goddess. This activation is so powerful. It's an instant access activation that one of my clients, when she joined it, she said that she was planning for a year ahead, and she decided that year she was going to have her first $1 million in her business. And so she was about to create her business plan, but she said, instead of having to figure out my business plan and make my first $1 million of that year, she was gifted $1 million from a relative. No strings attached, just from love, freely, and she was in awe. She could not believe how magically and quickly it happened. And she attributes it to the complete energetic shift and the embodiment of the wealthy goddess she experienced through the Millionaires Goddess activation. So I'll leave a link for you if you desire to gift yourself that. The next way to create wealth from your feminine is that divine feminine wealth is inside out. It's not outside in. So the masculine way is outside in. The masculine way asks that you prove, that you produce, and you prove your worthiness, right? You hustle, you grind, you give, you go, and then maybe you'll get the paycheck. You'll be rewarded. Whether it's in a spiritual way, where so many women have felt that we have to do all the right things and prove our worthiness to the universe to receive, or whether it's practically, like, I have to give, I have to hustle, I have to struggle, I have to go, I have to strategize, right? Maybe it's not even so much struggle, but maybe it's just this way that I have to be productive, I have to come up with a strategy, I have to plan, I have to be I have a logical path for wealth. The divine feminine is actually an inside out journey and pathway and experience and way of being wealth. So you actually even manifest wealth, you become wealth. The goddess of wealth says that you don't need to hustle more, you need to embody more. And how we activate this divine feminine wealth is the opposite of the masculine outside way. The inner work is activating your radiance, opening to divine inspiration, activating your intuition, right? So you're co-creating intuitively. So if you are guided to take action, it's because you're guided to that, right? As an example, I was inspired to create YouTube videos. And before that, this is 2012, right? As I was doing all the right things from the masculine, it was not creating the success from flow in my business. And I learned very early, thankfully, in my business that when I move from inspiration, from love, from generosity, everything flows. And this is what's so beautiful is divine feminine wealth, once it's inside out, what happens is anything that you're called to do, it's centered in love, generosity, and overflow, right? It's not an energy of what can I get? What do I need to do to get what I want? And it's never an energy of taking from someone else. This is why divine feminine wealth is so healthy and divine and beautiful and blessed and for the highest good of all, right? And when you create divine feminine wealth, right, as you're guided to in this world in an earthy way, it's very much like this Empress energy. The Empress archetypal energy is a woman who is full and flourishing from the inside, overflowing with gratitude. We talked in earlier, right, about being the source, which is a really spiritual and mystical way of connecting with divine feminine wealth. Now we're getting more grounded in this earthy way of embodying yourself as the earthy, wealthy goddess Empress. And so you are radiating wealth from the inside. You experience wealth in everything, right? In any bite of food that you have, and opening your tap and there's water flowing, and looking around you and there's millions of blades of grass that you can step on. There's infinite sky. You see abundance everywhere because you're seeing everything through the eyes of the goddess. So all lack is removed, because lack is an illusion. It's separation. It's the spiritual untruth, right? Lack is when we are separated from our divine truth. And as you become the goddess and you are in the flow of wealth inside and out, you are sourced and abundant. And so you do create wealth, you do earthy things, but they come from inner inspiration and joy and love. And as a result, they naturally are blessed. So as an example, in my work, I have so many different beautiful offerings, and each one is like an ever expansive portal of wealth, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's my book, Goddess Reclaimed, whether it's a retreat, whether it's a Goddess Circle activation, my programs. My beautiful clients, they find me through one of the ways that I have loved to offer something to the world. And then I've had clients with me since 2012, and they're still with me, and they still invest. They love my free offerings. They love my highest end offerings, and they join everything. And I know it's because everything that I'm offering, it's rooted in love. It's created with inspiration and offered in service. And what then ends up happening, because it's inside out, it's not, let's say you have a business, right? It's not for me, what can I do to create more money? It's, I am abundance. I'm one with infinite abundance. And from this abundance, like right now I'm doing a Lioness Gate Goddess activation. I'm also leading my Womb Priestess training. I'm going to have the Awakened Goddess training coming up soon in my programs. They fill out, they sell out and overflow because everything's inspired by what the goddess would have me do, what I would love to offer from love, for my women to flourish from the inside out. Then when women enter my world, I bless them. I say we do happy dances and prayers and rituals for every client, right? And they don't even know this usually, but there's just so much love and celebration that happens behind the scenes. And I know that's why all my offerings, everything that I've created, because it's rooted in love and service and generosity and inspiration, the so sacred co-creation with the goddess, it blesses your action. So instead of the masculine way where you take 10,000 steps, to make $1,000, whatever it is, you take one divinely aligned step sourced in the goddess and you receive $10,000, blessings, wealth, abundance. That has been my experience. And that's what I want for you, right? So I hope that's clear that you are creating inside out wealth rather than chasing wealth from the outside. And, there's stories with, for example, Goddess Lakshmi, that the more you chase wealth, the more elusive she is. The more you chase Lakshmi, the more elusive she is. But the more you come to your spiritual truth, so you focus on Goddess Saraswati, who is your spiritual wisdom and your truth, and you remember yourself as divine. I'm here to be a channel of the divine. I'm source and divine. My wealth is inside out, and I will share from expression, from inspiration, from union. Then they say Lakshmi gets jealous and she chases you and then she showers you. And what this means is that when you focus on the inside out wealth just unleashes through you, all around you, and it keeps expanding. And so through that, our next divine feminine secret to activating your rich goddess energy is sovereignty. That you manifest, create, unleash, hold, grow, and expand riches, abundance as Empress, as Queen, Goddess, in a way that creates total freedom for you. So I have been blessed to create this for myself, where I, once upon a time, many, many years ago, feels like lifetimes ago, was stuck in the corporate world. I had bosses say, I want you to take your laptop and be on call till 10 o'clock every night so you can own your career and climb the corporate ladder and don't be afraid to be a bitch to get ahead. And obviously that was not aligned for me. All right. So I had to leave that it wasn't just like a specific job. It was really leaving that whole paradigm. Right. And creating wealth on my terms for my feminine. This was feminine sovereignty. It was like, no, I don't accept that. And I'm a mother. I've created, my son is just starting kindergarten. He's going to be 4 in December, but he starts JK. And these first 4 years of his life, I've been with him. And my husband works from home. We both have created the freedom, right? Like, what do we want ultimately in being rich? We want freedom. You want freedom, right? You want the freedom to maybe be with your family, travel wherever you want, do what you want, buy the things you want, whatever you want. It's sacred, right? And it's beautiful and it's divine. And the sovereignty is like, I get to create what I want on my terms. I have seen even role models and mentors that I looked up to say a woman can't have everything at the same time. Like, a woman can have everything, but not at the same time. And I'm like, no, I don't accept that. I have created, whether it's my business or assets and other beautiful ways of wealth from the inside out that create more ease. I was connecting with a friend And he was saying how they have like these properties and they're just always like stuck managing them. And I'm like, why are you a property manager? So like I have a property manager who manages our investment properties, and these are practical things. But my point is how I've been guided to create wealth. I could not have planned or aligned with the synchronicities that have brought easeful wealth, that have created. We have wintered in Bali, we wintered in Mexico, and this is with my son, and just I get to work where I want, go where I want. I have spa days every Friday, right? And all this is so beautiful. But the truth is, wealth is always an inner experience for me, and as an inner experience of fulfillment and gratitude. So as my business is a 7-figure thriving business, I receive payments 24/7, right? And weekends, night times. I've been snuggling my son. We have slow mornings. I was just like my mother-in-law today. She comes to pick him up 3 afternoons a week. And so that's when I do my work. Just 3 sweet afternoons a week. And he has gotten to have, the best grandma ever. And that's what I mean. We do get to be in heaven all because my son is enriched. He's happy. I'm happy. My lifestyle is so free. And yes, I get to be a mom, a business queen, a high priestess. I work only with my soulmate clients. For my Awakened Goddess training, for example, there's an application process because we're in a deep 6-month immersion in sacred sisterhood, transformational journey with the goddesses, becoming goddesses in every form, in every way. And so I choose my clients to ensure that they're aligned. And this is freedom for me, right? Like I get to work with who I want, how I want, the way I want. I get to create my books, my offering, my YouTube videos the way that I want. I'm not a slave to algorithms or whatever, marketing or masculine structures and paradigms. So sovereignty is the divine feminine goddess, queen level freedom that you create, so financially resourced in a deeply goddess way, right, from the inside out, that you actually do get to be and have it all from your feminine, the way that you want. And what's so beautiful is that this way it is sourced in your body. So I, take my period days off, for example. I have goddess baths with flower petals, almost every night, and love and romance and dates with my husband. But your body's your temple, your life, romance, motherhood, family, friendships, self-care time, spiritual time. You get to be and have everything. And your divine feminine abundance is just this overflowing, beautiful support that you unleash, right? And that's one of the most beautiful parts of this journey, especially when I was coming from deep patterns of scarcity and fear and lack. Was, I think, the greatest gift for me and for my clients, I know, because they say this all the time, is when we maybe initially have a deep struggle or pattern, especially with money and finances, and we want to release that, and we would love to come into abundance, and we do, is that block, the scarcity, the lack, the financial block, the struggle, ends up becoming a catalyst through which we return home to the goddess, through which, like, I have remembered the truth that, oh, I am loved, that I'm worthy, no matter what happened to me in my childhood, that inner girl got healed along this process, and I've cleared lifetimes of karmic stuff where, many of us spiritual women, especially, we've taken vows of poverty and celibacy and self-denial and service. So that's what I meant earlier about clearing all this karmic stuff. We've been, gone through the witch hunts for being powerful women, for being magical, for being powerful. And so we carry these unknown even codes, imprints, programming, even right now in the world, right? What we see around wealth and everything, it's like there's so much unlearning to do. And what's been so beautiful and healing is coming home to the truth that I am daughter of a divine, and God, goddess, love me, and I am worthy, and I deserve to be not just out of struggle and lack, but I deserve to be safe. It is safe and sacred for me to be abundant, for me to be wealthy, for me to be free, for me to be powerful as a goddess, as a woman, right? To be and have everything I desire. And you actually just rest and come home into this way of ease and support. And not only that, you realize I am safe and worthy to, it's safe for me to be abundant. I'm worthy of abundance, but that it is sacred and it is my divine destiny and birthright. And I'm so grateful and thank you. And I want to channel it out to all beings everywhere. And that's the generosity, so part of the sovereignty is like, we are naturally generous. You get to desire wealth because you want it, right? Without any explanation, unapologetic. But the beauty of divine feminine wealth is that it's so generous. Part of my expression for that, I've sponsored schools in Pakistan and wells and sewing machines. And I basically help people back home, like in my ancestral village, to, help themselves, right? So whether it's education or starting new small businesses, that's what I love to do. So, I don't want you though, especially as the spiritual heart-centered woman, to feel like you have to justify your wealth. Like, okay, I will be blessed with wealth if I want to do good with it. You're naturally going to do good with it. It's who you are. So I hope that you will allow yourself to come into your sovereignty, to be a wealthy, rich goddess empress, to create total freedom where you don't have to answer to anyone. A boss, a client, a partner, a parent. Like, you're never dependent on anyone because, like, from earlier in our journey, we said that no one and no place and not even money itself is your source. You take back your power, you come into your sovereignty and unleash divine feminine infinite wealth. Only one of these expressions being money and riches and so much more that ever expands, and that you could always feel safe and worthy and powerful in receiving and magnetizing abundance and holding it and in expanding it. Because you're a rich goddess queen. Okay, there's so much more I can share about this, but I have put that all together in my Millionaire's Goddess activation as in my fuller, deeper 8-session instant lifetime access divine feminine journey. So I will leave links for you for Millionaire's Goddess activation and my Millionaire's Empress offering. Very life-changing. I also have some goddess circles with Goddess Lakshmi, Goddess Abundantia, Goddess Vasudhara, if you want to connect with the actual goddesses of abundance. So I'll leave those links for you as well. But I would love for you, if you want to start with something free, come on over to flourishinggoddess.com. And as soon as you sign up for my email, I'm going to awaken 21 goddesses of wealth, beauty, love, bliss, intuition, magic, abundance, and so many more divine feminine gifts. So please make sure that you come and get that. Let me know in the comments how this has inspired you around activating divine feminine wealth. Are you feeling more empowered and your divine destiny and birthright to be a rich, happy, healthy, wealthy goddess queen? I hope so. I hope you got so much from this, and I'm sending you infinite, abundant blessings. May you come home to the remembrance of yourself as goddess, as daughter of the divine, infinitely abundant, one with the infinite abundance that you are. May you clear your resistance, clear those blocks, and let the abundance that you are, that is seeking you, that wants to experience and express itself for you and bless through you, unleash through you. Goddess. Namaste.